It was early morning. The streets were completely quiet. No cars, no people, no noise at all. Just the soft sound of birds somewhere far away in the trees. A young woman was walking alone on an empty road. The air was cold and fresh. The sky was just beginning to turn light. She was in no rush. She was just walking slowly, enjoying the calm and peaceful morning around her, lost in her own thoughts, not paying attention to anything in particular. She was passing by a grassy patch on the side of the road when something made her stop. Her feet just stopped on their own. Her eyes moved toward the grass near the edge of the road. Something was there. She stepped forward slowly, leaning in to get a better look. And then she saw it. There, lying flat on the cold ground right beside the road, was a dog. A small black dog. He was not moving at all. Around his neck was an old dirty rope that had been tied tight. His body was so thin that every single bone was clearly visible under his coat. He had no strength left. He could not stand up. He could not even lift his head properly off the ground. He just lay there, breathing slowly, staring at nothing with eyes that looked completely empty and tired. Eyes that had given up on everything. The woman stood there for a long moment. She could not move. She could not speak. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at this poor animal lying alone on the side of the road. This dog had been left here by someone. Nobody had fed him. Nobody had given him water. Nobody had checked on him. He had been lying here all by himself, in the cold, with no strength left in his body and no hope left in his eyes. She slowly got down on her knees right beside him. She spoke to him in a soft and gentle voice. The dog looked at her slowly. He was scared. His body was too weak to run, but his eyes still showed fear. He had no reason to trust any human. But her voice was calm and kind. Her hands moved slowly toward him. She carefully reached for the old rope around his neck and removed it very gently. The dog did not fight back. He was too weak for anything. But as she worked slowly and carefully, something in his eyes changed just slightly. Just a little. She gently placed both her hands under his small and painfully thin body and lifted him up off the cold ground. He weighed almost nothing. She pulled him close to her chest and held him carefully as she started walking back toward her home. The dog did not make a single sound the entire way. He did not struggle. He just rested his tired head against her arm and closed his eyes slowly. Maybe for the first time in a very long time, he felt something close to safe. She brought him inside and placed him gently on a soft surface. She gave him water first, small amounts slowly, because his body needed it badly. Then she brought him a little food. Not too much at once, because his stomach was not ready after so long without eating. She sat right beside him the whole time, watching over him quietly, not leaving his side. She stayed close all through that first night, making sure he was warm and not alone in the dark. Days passed. Then more days. Every single morning she fed him. Every single evening she sat with him and talked to him softly. Slowly, things began to change. He started eating a little more each day. His eyes became brighter. The deep sadness in them began to fade little by little. He started lifting his head when she walked into the room. He started wagging his tail, just barely at first, just the smallest movement, but it was there. And every day that tiny wag grew a little bigger. His body began to heal week by week. The bones that had been so sharp and visible slowly filled out under a growing healthy coat. He gained weight. His legs grew stronger. He could stand on his own. He could walk. And then one morning, he ran. He actually ran out into the garden, fast and free, like he had never been sick at all. Like he had always belonged there. Now he plays in the garden every single morning. The moment she steps outside, he runs straight to her. He jumps around her feet. He wags his tail without stopping. He rolls in the grass and looks up at her with eyes that are full of happiness and love. He is healthy now. He is safe. He is home. She saved him the morning she chose not to walk past. But if you asked her, she would tell you he saved her right back. Because on the hard days, when everything feels heavy, she watches him run freely across the garden and she remembers that things really can get better. That kindness is never wasted. That one single moment of stopping, one decision to care, can completely change a life forever. Do not walk past. Stop. Help. That one moment is all they need.